We get one of these little guys.
What? Hi, we're here at the Park Bake Shop in Kings Park, New York, and I'm about to try their black and white cookie. It looks so delicious. That was good. Wow. This bakery was established 17 years ago by Lucy and Gabe. It's a family-owned business, and you can follow them on Instagram, and I'm telling you, this place is fantastic. These black and white cookies, we're going to be learning how to make a black and white cookie on Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas, so stay tuned. Today on Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas, we're going to make the black and white cookie. The black and white cookie originated back in 1902 by the Glaser Bakery Company in Yorkville, New York. It has become such a staple in New York, and people go to New York just to try their black and white cookies. We were recently in New York, and our friend Donald took us to the Park Bake Shop in Kings Park, New York, where I ate, such a delicious black and white cookie. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So when I came home to Texas, I decided, let me try my best and create my version of the black and white cookie. So let's get baking, stay tuned. Well, they say everything is not black and white. Well, I kind of disagree with them. There is the black and white cookie. And the black and white cookie is a thick, soft, sponge-like cake that has basically one side is vanilla, that's glazed with vanilla, and the other side is glazed with chocolate. And it is oh so good. So today we're going to make my version of the black and white cookie. And let's talk about some of the ingredients we're gonna need for that cake part. So the very first thing you're gonna need are 4 large eggs. You're also going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1 cup of butter, softened. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of lemon extract. You're also going to need a lemon for the zest of a lemon, and you're going to need approximately a half a tablespoon of zest from a lemon. And you're going to need 1 3/4 cups of white sugar, a half cup of milk, and I believe that is it. So we're gonna get baking and stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. So we're gonna start making the cake part to our black and white cookie. So I have my 1 cup of butter in my mixing bowl. I'm going to beat this on a medium until it's nice and smooth. This is the butter. And don't forget that butter should be room temperature. That looks good. I'm now going to add the sugar. This is my 1 3/4 cups of sugar. So I'm just gonna add it as it's going. I'm gonna just put this on a medium high. And you want to beat this until it's light and fluffy. That looks good. All right, so now I'm going to add my 4 large eggs. And I'm going to do 1 at a time. Now these large eggs, you really should have them room temperature also. Okay, I'm going to start out slow. And now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of lemon extract. It's a half a teaspoon of lemon extract. This is when I'm going to also put in my zest of a lemon, and this is approximately, I'd say, a half of a tablespoon. Okay. Good. Now I'm going to gradually add my flour. Now the flour I did sift. I sifted this flour once, so I'm going to add the flour just a little bit at a time. So I kind of break it up into parts as I'm doing this. And I'm going to put it on low because I don't want flour flying all over the place. So I probably used about half of my flour. I'm now going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking powder also, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, approximately. I'm going to continue to add my flour. I'm going to now add, because I can tell it's starting to work, I'm going to add a little bit of my milk. So I used approximately half of my flour. I'm starting to add a little bit of my milk because I can tell that the mixer was working a little bit. So now I'm going to add a little bit more flour. Now, as you can see, I'm going to add just a tiny more milk, a little bit more milk. I said probably a little bit more than a half a cup, because I can see how the mixer is working. And I still got a little bit more flour to go. I'm going to add just a little bit more milk now. And a little bit more flour. Okay, so that's all my flour. I'm going to add the rest of the milk. Let me clean this up really quickly. Okay. So I'm looking at my dough, and it's kind of sticky, and that's pretty much what you want. So when we come back, we're going to we're going to start filling our cookie trays. So stay tuned. Okay, so really quick, I wanted to show you. I got a ice cream scoop, and what I'm doing is to make sure that my cookies are approximately the same size. I'm getting a tablespoon and just placing it in my ice cream scoop, and then putting it on my Silpat. Silpat it's awesome. It was made in France, and basically you don't have to ever grease your cookie trays or anything like that. So it makes it really easy. You can use parchment paper too, and I'm putting my cookies on my Silpat. I'm leaving them approximately an inch and a half apart, something like that. And this is gonna make a lot of cookies. So once they are all done, let me show you. I'm just gonna do 2 rows right now. Is I'm going to get the back of a spoon, and I'm just going to flatten them just a little bit, like that. Flatten just a little bit. All right, so you want to make sure that they're flat, and they're going to come out nice and round. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. So what you want to do now is make sure that your oven is preheated to 375 degrees, and you're going to bake your cookies for approximately 12 to 15 minutes. So we're going to add our cookies to the oven here. Let's see. Add my other tray. And we're gonna let that bake for, like I said, 12 to 15 minutes, so stay tuned. So while the cookies are in the oven, let's start working on our icing, okay, for our black and white cookies. So you're going to need 3 cups of powdered sugar, and you can use any brand you want. I'm just using the Market Pantry brand from Target. You're going to need half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. So let's add that. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup, okay, very important. That's almost gonna give it that fondant look. So that's 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna put in at first 1 tablespoon, and then I'm gonna add a 2nd tablespoon. So you need 2 tablespoons. But I'm doing 1 at a time, of course. Okay. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of milk. Probably I'm going to start out with a teaspoon at first, and then I'm going to start mixing it all together. Okay, and I'm just using right now my spoon to mix it. I'm going to add just a little bit more milk at a time. Keep adding the milk until you get, it's a certain consistency, it's where it's a little bit drippy, runny, but not too much. So you really have to be careful. That's why you have to add the milk just a little bit at a time. Because if you add in too much milk, you can't go back. You're gonna have to add more powdered sugar and all that. This is looking really good. Let me show you really quickly. See that? It's a little bit runny, but you want it not too runny. That looks like really good consistency. All right, so when you make your icing, be really careful. Add in a little bit of milk at a time, okay? Until you get a consistency that is similar to that. You don't want it too runny though. All right, so when we come back, let's glaze our cookies. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna take it out of the oven. I wanted you to take a look at it, what it looks like. It's been 15 minutes. Wow, look at those. They look so good. Okay, so I'm gonna put it over here for now. I want you to take a look at one of them because it's important that you can see. So right here, I'm gonna go up to the camera so you can see it almost has like a dome shape. See that? Well, that's not the side we're going to glaze. We're actually gonna glaze the bottom. But you do want that slight dome shape coming up. And it looks really, really good. Smells great. So I'm gonna let them cool completely, and then I'm gonna show you how we're going to ice them, or glaze them. Stay tuned. So quickly, I just took my chocolate out of the microwave, and as you can see, it looks like that, and I'm stirring it. I wanna make sure it's very well blended. And I'm gonna let this cool a bit before I add the white part, the white icing to it, okay? It's gonna make it look a little bit lighter, but it's still gonna look chocolatey and taste really great. So, stay tuned. Hi, so we're back. So what I wanted to show you was I had the chocolate in my bowl here that's been melted. I used about 1 cup of Nestle chocolate morsels, milk chocolate. You can use semi-sweet if you would like, but I like the milk chocolate. And what I just did was I added just a little spoonful of this white icing to it. It really changed the consistency of it. And so I added a little bit more milk, and now it looks like this. And this is exactly what you want for your icing. Notice how it drips. It's not too runny. It's a really nice consistency. So make sure that your cookies are totally cool. These have been cooling for approximately 20-25 minutes. And I think they're ready now to ice. So you ready? Let's get icing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to ice. I have my offset spatula here. I wanna start with my vanilla. And the way I like to do it is I'm going to add the white to all the cookies first, and then I'm gonna go back and add the chocolate. So basically you get your cookie, and notice my cookie is pretty much round. If it's a little off, it's okay. I mean, if you want it perfect, you can go around and trim it. I think it's fine. You're gonna put icing not on the dome part, but on the flat part. That's important. And I'm just going to put my icing on half of my cookie, just like that. Looks really good. I love that glaze. That light corn syrup is the trick, is the key. And I'm just gonna go and put my white icing on all my cookies now. And then I'm gonna go back and then do the chocolate. Okay, so it's really easy. You just get your offset spatula. That makes it a lot easier when you have the correct tools. And then you add your icing to half of your cookies. Okay, really easy. And I cannot wait to try these. All right, so when we come back, we're going to add the chocolate, so stay tuned. Okay, so I glazed all the white, and now I'm gonna do the chocolate. So here's my white cookie there. I'm gonna just get my chocolate here, and I'm going to just place chocolate on this side of the cookie. And having the right tools, like I said before, is super, super important. So I'm going to add my chocolate. It looks so good. I want to make sure I do a nice job. Look at that. My very own black and white cookie. Yummy. Okay, so here they are, the black and white cookies. Oh, they look so good. I cannot wait to taste one. Let's see what they taste like. Oh, yummy. If you notice, the dome part's at the bottom. You place the icing on top. It has the black and white. So good. Reminds me of the wonderful vacation we had in New York, and brings back memories from when I was a kid eating black and white cookies. So call them half moon cookies, call them black and white cookies, but you're gonna say they're oh so good. Thank you for watching Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and like this video, and happy cooking, or should I say happy baking. Bye-bye.